It has been generally asked as to what did Lord Buddha teach? The answer to that can only be given by Buddha himself, in fact. And this can be verified by this little story that one day Lord Buddha was roaming in the forest where he was dwelling alongside with his some disciples. He picked up few leaves in his hand and he asked his disciples, "Brethren, what are more numerous leaves either in my hand or in this vast forest?" The disciples answered, "Lord, what you hold in your hand are but few leaves. The forest holds uncountably large number of leaves than what your hand holds." Then at this, Lord Buddha rejoined and he said, "In exactly the same way, what I have taught you ever, or I am going to teach you now, is but very few things out of what I really know. I am going to teach you only two things, and they are that there is dukkha in life and there is a possibility of cessation of dukkha." What is dukkha? Dukkha is, if translated literally, means suffering. But sometimes it is very difficult to translate a foreign language word in an exact manner. So this translation of dukkha as suffering may not really be doing too much justice to this word dukkha. In the Indian language, dukkha in fact encompasses much more and a very vast area of life and the events of life that bring us unhappiness than perhaps the word suffering in English can try to make us understand. Having said that, why did he want to speak only of these two things? This was a question. It is because only the knowledge of these two things deals with the removal and the cessation of all suffering. We are leading our lives in such a way that we can all testify to it, that there is more unhappiness of all sorts surrounding us in our day-to-day life. So if somebody comes along and tells us that this type of life can be modified, meaning the unhappiness in life can be removed, the cessation of unhappiness and unsatisfactoriness in life can be ceased, we will be eternally grateful to a person who would tell us like that. So this was the reason why Buddha wanted to teach these two very primary and very important things. Buddha did not teach anything that can be labeled as sectarian. It was above all sects. It was concerning of each and everyone's life on this planet. This is a given fact that we have been journeying on this path of life from eons on. This is not the only life that we have been having now. We have come into being after having journeyed through many births and subsequent deaths. Today, we have appeared as human beings. This is one of the best opportunities that one can have in order to make realization of the truth and then work towards personal salvation or liberation. Everyone needs some guidance, because without knowledge, without guidance, it is not possible to work our way out of this bondage. And this was by courtesy of Siddhartha Gautama, who himself went through enormous amount of difficulties to attain the goal of being enlightened. And once he was enlightened, he wanted to share his findings, his discoveries with all of us so that we could benefit and we could free up ourselves. He was an emancipator. He was a liberator. He is the same today. All we have to do is to understand that what he taught, what he wanted us to know, and how we could practice on the same lines that he taught us so that we could free up ourselves.